Well, g'day everybody, and welcome back to the Camera Life podcast. It is Monday, the 13th of April. I don't know where time is flying all of a sudden, but it's definitely moving faster than ever before. Stick around tonight if you're looking for a photography bumper crop of goodness. Bumper crop. I don't know what that means, but the farmers out there might want to fill me in on that one. I just saw it on Google. This is the Random Photography Show. So every Monday night we have a live random photography show from 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we interview an amazing photographer and discover everything we can about their life, their work, and what they're up to next. Speaking of amazing photographers, Justin's here. Sorry, you're not an amazing photographer. I was getting to that.
I was waiting for it. I was like, you can't be introducing me. I'm here.
But no, we are joined, of course. You'll see that the room is quite busy today. We're joined by Lucinda Goodwin here to co-host with us tonight. G'day, Lucinda.
Good day. Thanks for having me.
That's all right.
Thanks for coming.
That's enough from you for the moment. And of course, tonight we have a drop-in guest here to talk to us about a very exciting project, and one that's a little bit close to my heart, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. But Nick Walton-Heeley's joined us. G'day, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, Greg. Justin and Lucinda, thanks so much for having me back on the show. It's lovely to catch up with you all again, and yeah, share some insights into what's been a pretty lengthy project.
Yeah, well,
awesome.
We're gonna hear all about it. So the project is called The Line Through Brunswick. And just before we dive into your bit, I just want to tell you why I said that this is close to my heart, Nick. I don't know if I've told you this, but my partner, Sasha, lived in Brunswick, and I'd never traveled up that train line before. Well, maybe years and years and years ago. But when we first started dating, we would train back and forward to each other's house, and it was at the end of COVID. And so the line through Brunswick, it has a lot of memories for me, a lot of good times about those early days. Of course, everything's gone sour now, but back in the day, it was we were happy and excited. It's great.
That's a beautiful story. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
No, what a great way to introduce it. Yeah, it is surprisingly relatable. A lot of people do have a really fond and personal memory associated with that train line.
Yep. Well, why don't you tell us all about what you've got in store?
Sure. Well, I guess the project, The Line Through Brunswick, is a project that is about the upfield train and bike path as it extends basically from North Melbourne Station all the way to upfield. The focus of the project is on the Brunswick area, which is set to be re-engineered as a sky rail. So the project was a commission. I received a small grant to work with a local rider in the area, and that grant was issued in response to the announcement of the redevelopment of that train line as Skyrail. We set out to capture some stories and to create a living portrait of the line as it exists at the moment for future generations to remember what was there when it is no longer.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of those old brick train stations and platforms are disappearing. There's still some along the route, but most of them have been, as you said, are being moved up off the ground onto these part of the Skyrail sort of network. And it's a shame to see some of that infrastructure, that older infrastructure, disappearing because they're really great examples of the architecture of the area, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I think a lot of those stations too, the older styles, it's all about the community sort of and people's sense of connection to the area. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of stations, Greg, you'd probably know along the line, Coburg Station, Moreland Station. They've already been elevated, yeah. And so there is a real contrast. And when I first set out photographing, I suppose the focus was in my thinking was about trying to record what the bits and pieces that might be gone and what is sort of likely to disappear. But as the project developed, I became kind of oddly fascinated with some of those uber modern stations, and and ended up photographing doing a lot of photographs in and around those areas as well.
You're correct. Some of those new stations are amazing pieces of architecture. Some have, almost brutalist kind of themes to them, very bare bones, back to bare concrete, minimal palette of color. So they will stand on their own. Now, we've got a video here. Justin's going to play a bit of it while you let us know a little bit more about the project. So you've got a launch event coming up this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I have an exhibition opening at the Brunswick Neighbourhood House at 6 p.m. on Friday, this coming Friday, which is April 17.
Yep.
The exhibition is actually going to be opened by the Mayor of Brunswick, and we've got some councillors in attendance. As I said, the project was assisted in terms of funding from the Mary Beck Council, but Kevin Brophy, who's the writer that I've worked with as well, we've also worked very closely with the Brunswick Community History Group. And so the video, I'm not sure, some people might be listening if they can't see the visuals. The video actually incorporates some of Kevin's poetry alongside the photographs. Kevin is a widely acclaimed poet and author. And it was amazing being able to work with him. He was actually my honours supervisor about 15 years ago. So
oh wow,
that's
so cool.
It was very special too. I grew up in Northcote, so Brunswick was an area that I was very familiar with, and it was this project in some ways does really feel like it's sort of coming full circle for me. I love that photograph. You can even see poem written on the bottom of the station there. I think when I realised that, I felt that we were on the right track, so to speak.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow, yeah.
And we will pay that pun, as terrible as it was.
Thank you, Greg.
We will pay that pun. And so, how many images have you are involved in this upcoming?
Yeah, so the photos that we're going through now are landscape photos. There are 33 landscape photos in the exhibition, but there are also 33 portraits, of community members who have significant connections to the line, whether they be because they're commuters or they're local artists or they're people that have campaigned to have. In the 1990s, the Upfield line, the state government wanted to close it. So there was this considerable campaign that was lodged by residents at that time to save it. And there's a lot of, I suppose, guerrilla gardeners as well along the line who have devoted considerable amount of time and effort to beautifying some of the more ambiguous spaces along that passage.
Yep. Very cool. So the opening night is this coming Friday, April 17th, 6 p.m. Where did you say it was? Brunswick Neighbourhood House? Yeah,
Brunswick Neighbourhood House. So it was really important for us to find a venue that was, I suppose, reflective of the community, a space that the community felt really comfortable and safe in. And the Brunswick Community House has a terrific hanging system and a good gallery program. So we were really excited by the opportunity to show the work in that space. The address of the neighbourhood house is 43A De Carl Street in Brunswick. A lot of people would know De Carl Street. It's quite a significant street. It's very close to Anstey Station. So for all my friends that are on public transport, I've been encouraging them to catch the Upfield line to Anstey Station, and the neighbourhood house is a short walk from there.
Amazing. So this exhibition runs until the 19th of May.
That's
open
correct,
to the public, 10 to 12 noon every Tuesday on the 21st, 28th of April and May 5, 12 and 19. And there's also an exhibition talk, 1:30 p.m. Saturday on May the 2nd. And I imagine that both yourself and Kevin Brophy will be in attendance for that one.
Yeah, that's actually going to be between myself and Elizabeth Jackson, who's the president of the Community History Group. She's going to talk about the photos in terms of their historical depth, I suppose, and then I'm going to give a little bit of an insight as to how, as my understanding of the history of the area grew, that changed the photographic process, and sort of talk people through that.
Very exciting. Well, look, thanks for dropping by to let us know, Nick. Always great to see you, and always great to. It's always fascinates me what you're working on, because you hop from project to project, and they always have a really strong community centered mindset, and I think that's amazing. And congratulations on yet another project nearing completion. And we wish you all the very best for the line through Brunswick.
Thank you so much, Greg. They're really kind words, and thanks Justin and Lucinda for having me back on the podcast. It's always it's a pleasure to join and to tune in at every chance I get. So I'm really grateful. Yeah.
Look, we could talk about this all night, but we do have a bumper crop, as I said.
Of course. Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. No, I'm just excited to hear about this bumper crop. Thanks very much again for coming on, Nicholas. It's awesome project. It's beautiful imagery as well. You should be really proud.
No worries. Thanks so much, guys.
Be safe, mate. Great to see you. Take care.
You too. See you guys. Cheers.
Bye.
And then there were three.
Now, I may have oversold the bumper crop
thing.
All right, so let's just say hello to some people in the chat.
Yeah, well, look at this. Mr. Daniel McMahon's in the chat. Loves a bumper crop. Says Mr. Daniel McMahon, one of my good friends, one of my best friends, also one of my best clients. That works out well.
We're so sorry, Daniel.
When I go to work, I'm just hanging out with a friend. It's pretty handy.
Nice. I wouldn't know what that's like.
That's it. I'm going. Well,
Bye.
we just started and I'm going. Yeah, it can be just you two. Oh, I need to fix up our thingy, and I'm going to change it to the segment that we're up to now, which is, where are we? Catching up. There it is. Done. Who else is in the chat? Dennis was here earlier and says, I was going sailing with champagne and caviar, then saw Lucinda tie up the boat.
Oh,
Thanks,
how's
Dennis.
that for a compliment?
He's cancelled
Thanks,
his
Dennis.
caviar.
Yeah, he's posh.
I'm sure to wait for you.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Keep it on ice. Paul's here. Brett Wooderson is here. It is that time of the week again. Philip Johnson, Felicity Johnson, Rick Nelson. These names are starting to get, I'm starting to think I'm in a simulation. Our names, they're all like, one is similar to another one, which is similar to another one, which is similar to another one. It's, I don't know. Does anyone else think we're in a simulation, or is it just me?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's deep thoughts for Monday night.
Yeah, okay. We won't start there. We'll finish there. David Skinner, good evening. Digifrog, you're selling a 51.2, I see.
You don't need any more 50 mils.
No, he doesn't. Well,
I've got the one.
coming.
I was looking at him selling his, and I was like, oh, is that all I would get for mine? Damn it.
Damn.
Because it's David Leparati, good evening. Tweak Productions says, good evening, party people. Listening and editing race photos tonight. That's good.
Nice.
Multitasking. Nick Fletcher is here.
Hey,
Craig Murphy. Who else? Phil Thompson's. Good evening. It was a quad night, but no, we're back to 3 now. Back to 3. 3 fits the screen better. You can see our faces.
Yeah.
Andrew Connor, Stuart Lyle. No, Dennis, sorry, we can't start again. Just go back. You go back, you play it on 2 times, and you'll catch us. Then you get all the... It's how you do it. Bruce Moyle, evening, everyone. Just back from a long drive from Northwest Tas. How long would that take? What's that, like 4 hours?
Area, isn't it?
Yeah.
That direction?
No. Yeah, and even more west. It's like old Shaley gold mining area, I think, or somewhere. I can't remember what it's called. David Skinner. The plumber Matt again. Good evening,
Matt.
Lisa Leach. Lisa Leach says, hi, just a quick pop in from New Zealand on a Brett Wood workshop and have a sunrise shoot tomorrow. We hate you so much, Lisa. Say hi
Make
to
sure you
Brett
get
and
some
everyone on the
sleep.
workshop.
Actually, I was watching a video that I think Brett put up earlier today on his Facebook. And they were shooting a sunset. It just looked absolutely magic over a lake with mountains and
It's the dream.
hobbits. It's just incredible.
Hobbits. I don't think there was.
They are
there
in New
wasn't
Zealand.
Hobbits.
Yeah, well,
I guess so. Well, maybe. Who else? Oh, Tony's here, says Castles. Hey, Tony. What's up? Samuel Markham. Good evening. Everybody's here today.
Hey,
This is
Samuel,
crazy. Yeah, Monday rocks.
This is what happens when we go live on the right channel.
oh,
Last
like
week.
that.
Oh, last week
Okay.
was a disaster, but we got there. Oh yeah, Zena says, "Hey, all the toy short videos were rad on the tube." Yeah, we've been posting little clips of some of the toys. Yelena went crazy and just chopped them all up and made them into clips, and then I made all the thumbnails and we got them out onto the interweb. So that was fun. We're going to try and do some more of that, but we won't be able to do like every photo all the time. That'll be a lot of work.
Important question here from Samuel. Are you trying to compete with Greg's beard babyface, Justin? Oh, you actually are growing something. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a macro lens so I can document my progress. Yeah, Andrew kind of wants to know where Bruce was. Yeah, where were you, Bruce? Exactly. Tell us.
Yeah.
Although if you're driving,
yourself.
maybe don't do that. It depends if you're still driving or not. And JC Orange 1, good evening from Perth. How are you?
G'day, JC.
My
Now-
initials are JC.
That's a lot of people in the chat. There's a lot of people watching tonight, and I'm sure there's going to be lots more watching later and over the coming week. But don't forget, guys, the best thing you can do to help us out is to give us a like. It lets other people know that we've got content worth sharing. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. And what you need to do is once you hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you'll get notified of every upcoming live episode in your time zone. There you go. That's all I got.
Oh, hey, while we're doing things like that, the Lucky Strap sale still happening. Our 12-year anniversary sale. 12 years. 12 years of making
Impressive.
leather camera straps, isn't it? That's crazy. Most small businesses.
Yeah,
don't make
I
it.
heard a rumor about a dual harness last week. Did I hear that correctly?
Well, no, I don't know about that.
No?
We have nothing to
It was on the internet. It was on the internet. I believe everything on the internet.
That's right. Yes.
You know my address. Just put it in the post. I won't tell anyone.
You'll be first on the list. We'll have to
Great.
have some like Jim was the how does it go? There's the beta testers. What's before beta? Alpha. So Jim's been the alpha tester for 7 years, and then we're going to have to expand that into a nice little test of beta testers, and you'll be on the list.
Fabulous.
As
That's
will
all I
Sophie,
needed to know.
Sophie Garrity. Otherwise, I'll probably have to run to the ends of the earth and hide because she
Yeah.
can chase me for 240 kilometers.
I
without
totally
getting
agree.
tired.
You need more girls testing these things out.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So far, it's just been Jim, or I make Jim get
Yeah.
her address. And like, how does it feel now?
Well.
It's
Still
not
important
exactly.
research.
It's not exactly comprehensive testing. Anyway, we'll get there.
We will.
It's going to happen. Anyway, luckystraps.com, 12-year anniversary sale. Lots of deals. Free personalization with the code Make It Yours. If you are inclined to personalize your camera strap, you can do that.
Yeah.
So
Plus, lots
go
of
on.
straps on sale.
Yes, up to 25% off. Lots of straps, including our deep brown color, which is quite popular. The most popular, actually. Oh, it's a
Is it?
tie. Anyway.
A tie between that and what?
Chestnut brown, and then no, and then in
Oh, really?
no, black actually isn't the most popular. Black wine is very popular in a couple of models, but overall, I would probably give the edge to chestnut brown, which is like the middle
Okay.
of the road brown. It's just like
Yeah.
not too dark, not too light. It's just
Got a
right. It's the
classic look.
Goldilocks brown. Yeah.
Great.
Felicity Johnson says, 12 years. Well done, guys. We were talking about your straps at strap-ons at
Strap-ons.
Louis Sedgman's Fine Art Equine Workshop yesterday. Well, that sounds fun.
Thanks, Felicity.
Wow.
That's
so
the
you did
after dark Lucky Straps collection.
Yeah.
The strap-ons.
the strap-ons. It's a whole different, that they're not on sale at the moment. That must have been fun. Fine Art Equine Workshop. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
to
sounds
hear
really
that.
interesting.
Oh, and Phil Thompson has also been spruiking our wares. Oh, sorry. I was singing the praise of Lucky Straps at the Wangaratta Hot Air Balloon and Drone Show over the weekend. Was that the big one where there was like 50 hot air balloons going up?
Yes, I believe so. Either that or there was a weird coincidence, because I've got some photos, from David Skinner.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he was
yes.
going up.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with the show proper.
A ton of them. Yeah. Well, I want to know, what's Lucinda been doing? What have you been doing today?
Tell us.
Well, exciting things. I'm exhausted tonight, actually. I did a big workshop today at Melbourne Recital Centre, which is kind of fun and exciting.
Cool.
So yeah, did a workshop with some young people with an organisation called The Push. So they run heaps of different events and support people going into the music industry at a young age. Justin, you're probably very familiar with the term freezer. Did you do any freezer gigs when you were?
Did I tell you on the show at all? So
I can't remember.
Our Bendigo freezer was so bad.
Okay.
That we ended up starting our own organisation to run gigs called Defrost.
Okay.
Get it?
Well,
Defrost
I love Freezer, which is now called Amplify, and so these were
cool.
all of the Amplify teams from all across Victoria came together at Melbourne Recital Centre.
That's awesome.
They'd sort of chose, so they had songwriting workshops and how to work in the industry. They had sound and production workshops and photography as well. So I did a workshop this afternoon. So yeah, it was fun.
So there were also
nice
you were running a photography workshop as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Were you teaching the people from Amplify or just other photographers from around the place? Like
Amplify humans. So they were sort of like year 11, year 12.
Nice.
And yeah, so some of them will do the social media component of like when they put gigs on. Some of them will take on the opportunity to do photography. So I work closely. There's 2 Amplify crews in my area. There's one at Queenscliff and one in Geelong, and so I've done workshops and stuff with them before and worked closely with them. So it was just sort of nice to have a broader spectrum of everyone in the building.
Nice.
And so lovely that you're giving back to that community.
Yeah, it's always fun to sort of share knowledge, and it sort of helps your brain sort of going through stuff. Like where you put a presentation together, you're like, oh, that's like I've got to like overthink when I'm delivering something like that. So it's kind of nice to then look at it and go, oh, there is so much that goes into this, like that I don't even think about on a day-to-day basis that I'm then trying to teach someone.
Yeah. I think fair. that whole idea of having them all get together, that's an awesome event to do, because I think it was like I don't want to, let's reverse. I don't want to make sure. I didn't hate Defrost as Freezer as an organization. It was just the Bendigo one was just not doing much. And we saw that we'd go to Ballarat and we're like, the gigs are awesome over here. And it was a different group and stuff. And I think maybe that of having everyone coming together and learning and seeing what other towns are doing and things like that, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, and I think it was all about like that networking thing as well. So like I feel like it's come a long way since then too. Like I didn't have the opportunity to do Freezer when I was sort of coming through. On the very tail end, I think they were doing maybe 1 or 2 gigs. But now it's sort of mandated that some, like depending on how much funding they get, they do more events. So like one committee in my area has to do 6 events a year. So like it's like kind of picking up the pace in terms of doing stuff. And it's not necessarily just here's 3 bands on a lineup. It might be a battle of the bands, but they have to organize like entries and prizes and all of those sorts of things. And then like there was an all-female lineup one that I went to down here with all local artists and stuff. So yeah, it's nice to see it evolving from like when I first started sort of seeing it come up in the local area and like seeing it evolve.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. That's a great initiative.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
What else in terms of like work stuff? You've been busy working?
Stuff. Yeah, I have been busy working. I've been doing a fair bit of portraiture work, and I've done a little bit of festival stuff as well since we last chatted, I think. But honestly, a lot of like admin stuff that's not as exciting like on the socials and stuff, but it's just the necessary stuff. A lot of musicians at the moment are sort of kind of going into the colder season, so this is the time where they start organizing like different press images and releases and that sort of stuff. So I've been doing a lot more of that and just like emails back and forth about that. I've done a few shows at Geelong Arts Centre. But yeah, doing a little bit of work. And then, I fly to Sydney in a couple of weeks to do the APRA AMCOS Music Awards, which is at the Hordern Pavilion. So where the ARIAs are normally held. But they're turning 100 this year, so it's really big and exciting. So they're kind of going all out, and there's lots of really cool acts doing lots of cool things that I'm not allowed to talk about because that's top secret. But yeah, lots of cool stuff happening. So yeah, I'm flying to Sydney for a couple of days to shoot that, and then spend some time with some friends up there.
Nice. So how many photographers will get an opportunity to shoot that? Is that a pretty difficult thing to get in? And
so lots of press photographers. So their main office is in Sydney, but they're actually flying both me and another Melbourne photographer up to cover it. We both covered it last year. So they normally move it every year. It goes like Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney. So they're doing the 100th in Sydney. So there's 2 of us on the official team, and then there's someone doing portraits backstage as well. And then there's like a plethora of different publications, news outlets, all of that sort of stuff. So I kind of get my own little area to photograph in, which will be nice. I'm doing all the red carpet and winners stuff. So I kind of, get put in my own little box that I'm away from everyone, which is kind of nice. And then everyone else kind of gets to fight down the other end of the red carpet. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Look at you.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very, very cool. Well, it's good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime.
It's anytime I can get some Canon backup is very appreciated, because they've been relentless, these Fuji people.
I know.
Lately. They just won't let me relax.
Actually, I've got your Fujifilm camera here. I forgot that you gave it to me.
Oh, yeah.
In that bag. I opened the bag today because I hadn't unpacked my bag since I saw you last week, and there was a nice little Fujifilm surprise in there for me.
Yeah. Greg's going to do a review on the original X100, the
OG.
Fujifilm X100 that started it all, and see how it goes in 2026.
Exciting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
I think so.
All right. Let's get to the weekend review.
Yeah. We start the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Officially.
Let's talk some news.
We go to the news. Okay.
Actually, no, let's look at social posts first.
Okay. That can be under the news. That works. All right. Let me pull some stuff up.
So, as I did say at the start of the show, we have a bumper crop of stuff to get through tonight, because there's been a lot going on in social media ever since Artemis launched and returned to Earth safely, which we're all pleased to see. The fever around the images, Nikon, they're using an older Nikon DSLR. Nikon are riding a wave at the moment of pure joy over the free advertising that they're getting, thanks to 4 astronauts. There's been a lot going on, so it's really cool to see. And I was talking to Justin about this last week, and we're saying how it just feels like it's reinvigorated photography again. It's brought photography back to the front of people's minds, real photography, by real skilled people that have to set up in crazy setups to capture all these different angles of Artemis. And then obviously there's the crew going into space with the camera, and that has sparked everyone's imagination about image making again, which is great. But we'll get to that in a second. First of all, should we talk macro photo?
Well, I've got it ready. Yeah,
I got things out of order. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, is this what you want?
Yeah, no.
We'll start with this.
Oh,
this looks like something David Leparati would come up with.
It does. Yeah, I thought that. But I thought maybe this could be a future upcoming your photo topic challenge. I mean, it doesn't have to be as sophisticated as that setup, but I thought maybe, trying to freeze a water droplet might be an interesting challenge. That's just my thought.
I see.
Yeah,
So
I did this at uni.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was one of my assessments, yeah. And they had an intervalometer and it was all very technical. And I actually had a student do it as like final artworks for their end of year piece. And I think they only needed 3 images, and I think the person went a little snap happy, and I think I ended up with like 50 final images because they were having so much fun.
Oh,
You can also do it with milk as well, so it kind of is
Yeah.
a bit more opaque.
Was it so this person's rigged it up so that the droplets are coming out constantly? Did you do it
Yeah.
that way, or were you doing it manually with like a dropper or something?
No, it was like that. It was like dropping, and we had like a set on it so that you could like time how often they were falling, and it was very technical.
Yeah, wow.
very cool.
Yeah, clever little setup too to get those images. Like it's
Yeah.
having the CD
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. All right, what else?
Nice. Next up, there's been a few Hasselblad are trying to piggyback off the Artemis mission because they've been out there flogging their gear and saying we were the first on the moon, as we know. But there's been a lot of stuff about Hasselblad. This one's about a Hasselblad Instax setup that someone has created, and we've seen some of these things before. We saw someone who did one on a large format camera, and obviously we've seen Dennis Smith, Ball of Light, do some amazing light painting portraits with Instax, setting a new world record. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Good little adapter.
I want one so bad for my Mamiya. I just need to bite the bullet on it.
Oh, go
Are
on,
that,
do it.
can you get them? Are they hard to get?
Yeah, there's a place in America that make them.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. It's like $900. I should do it, but
Oh, you don't need to pay rent. It's fine.
no,
Yeah.
no.
2-minute noodles will get you
No.
through.
Exactly.
Business make a profit. No, we can't have that.
Yeah, not
Just
this
buy
one.
more film.
Buy more film and stuff. Speaking of buying things, Felicity Johnson says, I've just bought is that Meops water droplet kit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
and
all the bits and pieces that kind of make it drop.
That drop. David Leparati says it's more fun doing it manually. And I would believe that. I'm sure you've got some sort
You
of
have to-
crazy dropper setup.
You have to have a certain type of patience, and I'm not sure I'm about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang on. Oh, no. Oh, hold the phone. I've put you guys
What's
all over
wrong
the
now?
place. I'm going to put me down
Holding
here.
it.
So when I cover, and then I'm going to put Greg up here so that when I cover me with the comments, I'm not covering Lucinda's face with the comments. So
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. Moon
next
photos?
up. Yeah, Hasselblad moon images.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
Mm.
that's what it looks like when I take them on my phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's on a Hasselblad.
I
It cost
know,
that person $15,000.
Yeah.
Plus that lens. Oof.
Yeah, wow.
Well, it says the entire set. Yeah, this entire setup cost me $15,000. Hasselblad 203 FE digital back, 907X100C. Hasselblad FE 350 F4.
I'm sure there's like a
Hasselblad.
heap of detail in that shot.
Yeah.
We're just not seeing it on social media, but
Yeah, maybe.
not for me.
Nah, no. I mean, it's a good use of a Hasselblad, I guess.
Yeah.
But nah, I'm sure a cheap Sony would probably do just as good of a job. What's this one, Greg?
Which one's this? So this is a shot that was actually taken from the capsule as they went around the backside of the moon. So there was no light pollution. And one of the crew captured this shot.
Really?
Interesting.
Whilst moving at some ridiculous amount of kilometers an hour.
I was gonna say, so tell me this. Our tripod can't even have a whisper of a little and otherwise all of our stars will be blurry and shit, but they're somehow traveling at a bajillion kilometers an hour, slingshotting around the moon. That's for Bruce, if he's listening. He doesn't like it when I pretend the moon doesn't exist. Anyway, so they're going around the moon at a bajillion miles an hour, and their stars are sharp. How is that? How's that
Yeah,
possible?
well, it's a 10-second exposure. So this was shot with a Z9, Nikon Z9, a 35mm lens at f2.8 with an ISO of 12,800. And because the sun was blocked by the moon, there was pretty much zero light pollution.
Dark
But yeah, I
Sky
don't know how they got it
Project.
so crisp.
No, I love it. As we said, seeing the photos is so interesting and so fun to see photography getting, just spread throughout all of the media again, and people actually care about. Look at this photo. I love it.
It's interesting to see a different perspective of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, look at the density of the stars in that shot. I often wonder when I'm really just sitting outside under the starry sky, I'm like, if we could see all of the stars that are out there, would the sky just be completely like all lit up? Would there be no black space? Is there that many stars? But the light's still traveling from the furthest stars and we haven't seen it yet? You know what I mean?
Justin, you're
very
asking
true.
too many profound questions for a Monday evening.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bruce says,
Dennis says
screw
yes.
you, Justin. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I agree with Dennis. Yeah, I think it would just be one, just stars everywhere. There are that many stars.
Yeah.
Love it.
There's a clip of Brian Cox, who is an astrophysicist, I believe. And he does this equation of explaining just how many stars and galaxies there are. And it's just mind-boggling. Like he's talking about something like, 500 million trillion just in the observable universe that we can see, kind of thing. That those sorts of numbers. It's just bananas.
It's crazy.
And here we are floating on our little rock out in the middle of nowhere.
Just cruising around.
The next one on the list, Justin, doesn't work. I put the wrong link on it. So just go to GoPro Orion.
Oh, yeah, on it. Da-da. And da-da. What are we seeing?
So this is a shot. GoPro put this up. This is Orion's spacecraft. Captures the moon and the Earth in one frame during the Artemis 2's crewed deep space journey on the 6th day of the mission. The right side of the NASA's Orion spacecraft is seen lit up by the sun. A waxing crescent moon is visible behind it, and then a crescent Earth, which is pretty crazy. We don't see that, obviously.
Again, such a different perspective to what any of us are normally seeing.
Yeah. I wouldn't believe this was shot on a GoPro.
Yeah,
unless,
I'm sus on that.
Yeah, unless if obviously 4 days ago it's been out and it's had 60,000 likes. So by now, if this was bullshit, NASA would have been like, "Hey, there's no GoPros on our
Yeah, you would have,
They would have. So it's obviously real, but that is an insane photo,
isn't it?
to be able to manage to get that. Obviously, it was probably it's probably taken tons of photos.
Dennis is also calling this out. I don't know if you can read this comment out loud, but
absolutely, I can read this comment out loud. Dennis Smith from the School of Light at School of Light on YouTube. If you'd like to go out and check more about Dennis Smith, says, if that was captured on a GoPro we can buy, I'll clamp my nuts in a vice and turn it tight.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Or
someone might
they're
have
teasing.
to fact check GoPro.
Look, they're
Maybe.
teasing their new GP3 processor that's coming in their upcoming camera. And if that's not what's on this spacecraft, I'll clamp my nuts in a vice and turn it tight, because they will want to be using these images when that camera launches as like this was taken on this new processor, this new camera.
Yeah.
Look how amazing we are. So yeah, it's probably a very upgraded GoPro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rick Nelson says, can you imagine how small they felt in the universe at that moment? Yeah, it would. They all talk about it, and you can kind of understand what they're saying, but I'm sure none of us could ever really imagine what that feels like. But they always talk about how it profoundly changes your view of humanity as a group and how small we are in the entire sort of in the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
I mean, the whole thing is just crazy. Like from a mindset point of view, like these people have strapped themselves to a top of a giant fuel tank that someone has lit on fire. They blast it some ridiculous amount of G's into space. Then they pull off this sort of stuff, and then they have to burn through the atmosphere at a sharp angle or whatever it is they do. Like just even those things alone, like imagine what your brain's going through as you're about to hit the atmosphere to re-entry, and you know everything gets very hot. Like it would just do your head in, I'd imagine.
Again, not for me.
Yeah, not for you. You wouldn't go if they were like, "Hey, we'll give you a seat." Like, nah, I'm good. Send me the photos.
Yeah, send me the photos. I'm good.
Send me the photos. What else have we got? Is this more Artemis? Let's see.
Yeah, there's lots of Moon and Artemis stuff here. Artemis 2 launch.
Oh yeah, these are the ones. These are sick.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just crazy.
Insane.
But that
and the way they have to set these up like so far in advance is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't think about that until I was watching your podcast last week. I was like, oh yeah, of course they wouldn't be able to like stand next to that. It's just not something that ever crossed my mind. But
or just like, I want to, go in and change my set. Like you can't just come and go and like keep setting it up when they're like, oh, we're gonna, yeah.
You know how at like Melbourne Airport where people just like pull over into the paddock and they're just shooting airplanes like leaving Melbourne Airport? Like that's kind of what I thought it was like. Which I don't know why I thought that, but
like you could get close enough to take a decent photo just kind of behind a fence or something. Like and there'd be a crowd there watching and taking photos. Yeah. I think that was what was in my brain. Imagined as well, that it was a more public kind of thing. But I think that thing that we're imagining is so far away that the photos would be terrible. Because I think people do watch some of these things, but it's from quite a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. What do we got here? Some D5. Someone's done the D5 settings.
Yeah, so they've published the actual camera settings for this shot, the latest full image of the Earth.
Look at that ISO.
Yeah, there's something about this that unfortunately leads me back towards this rabbit hole of, is there even a moon? Because if they had shot this in manual mode at a quarter of a second shutter speed, f4 aperture, 51,200 ISO in manual mode, what would the reason for a +1 exposure compensation be?
They slipped on the button.
Yeah, probably. I do it all the time.
Is it? See, things just don't always add up, do they?
It's the Nikon part that did it for me.
Oh, yes. No, the D5 is an epic camera. It's so cool.
It is. I used to use one.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Yeah. It's got a good feel about it, and the files at 400, they're just clean and awesome and great colors. Yeah. That's what I thought anyway. A lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. Epic at 51,200. So this is the dark side of the Earth, I guess. This is the night side, which is why those are the settings, because this was the non-sun side.
Yeah, because the sun's behind.
Is that speck in the very far distance in the corner?
The top
you reckon that's the sun?
Maybe.
Or
I don't know the light's coming from there.
Mars or something. But yeah, I thought the sun must be on the other side of the Earth. Yeah. What's Paul saying? The blue marble shot is of the nighttime side of the Earth that is in full darkness, hence the ISO 51,200. Originals are on Flickr. Flickr, coming back.
Oh. Do I need to migrate back over to Flickr?
Yeah, you should.
We're gonna make a comeback. We're contemplating using it for the Your Images section even. I don't know.
Oh, are you going to force everyone to go to Flickr?
No, there's no forcing. We don't do forcing on this
No, we
podcast.
don't force anything.
Gently encourage them, otherwise they
Well,
can't.
Justin's forcing a beard, but apart from that,
The only thing I don't like about Flickr for the Your Images section is because we'd have a group, but then people would be able to see everyone's images before the podcast. And I think it's kind of more fun when you don't know what's coming up. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a secret.
It's a secret until we show it on here. Whereas if everyone's was already in there, you'd be like, I've seen these already. I'm in that group. So I don't know.
Yeah, we need people to watch, you know?
that's
right. That's right.
We love surprises. Just a couple more social posts to go.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Voigtlander wants to tag along next time.
God.
Poor Voigtlander.
Jeez, everyone's
Got
just
left
trying to.
behind.
Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. It's a shame Canon haven't done anything. I assume they haven't. There's not much they can do, but it would have been funny if they'd thrown out something about
Something.
I don't know. It would be tough to come up with a clever way to get in on that conversation when your direct competition is just killing it in the news at the moment because they're on a spaceship and you're not.
Yeah. It would be fascinating to see, how sales change, like to have that sort of insight into the data to see, did Canon suffer a drop and Nikon suffered a spike in sales?
Are Nikon D5s actually going up in value on the used market right now? Because people are like, I want to have one of those since it was the sort of camera that got taken to
There'd 100% be somebody that sees that and goes, yes, I'm going to go buy one today.
I did see one on Marketplace and I was tempted for a second because not the moon thing probably helped, but because I've had one.
See, you were the person.
I was the person.
Yeah.
But I've had one and I know how great it was, but then I remembered I don't have any Nikon lenses left and I don't want to have to buy any Nikon lenses. So I was like,
I was about to say that's a whole kit situation that you don't want to deal with.
I would probably just want the 28 1.4.
Not a 50 mil?
Yeah, wow. What's wrong with
that seems to be your favorite lens.
The
based
Nikon,
on consumerism.
The only Nikon 50 mil I really used much was the 58. Actually, the 58 1.4, which was notoriously soft, but at about f2.2, it was beautiful. We shot that thing a ton. So yeah, maybe one of those. Don't know. Anyway, we're getting distracted.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, the rest can wait. We've done a fair bit there. Let's jump to some news articles. Again, relatively quiet week in the news. Obviously, there's been a lot of stuff about what's been going on with the NASA launch, and we do have one more Artemis article to show you, but we'll leave that one for the end of the news. Let's start with TT Artisan. They're releasing an autofocus 17mm 1.8 for E and X, and I think also potentially Nikon.
You went to America then.
I was going to say, we're in Australia, Greg.
Sorry, mate.
Nikon,
Sorry,
mate.
I'll write a letter of apology.
Okay, cool little lens for crop sensors. So I'm assuming that'd be for crop Nikon if it goes there. That's cool. More lenses. They're just coming in like crazy. I saw a news article from a lens company by the name of Sigma on DP Review. They'd done an interview with the Sigma people, and they said they're not as confident about the camera industry for the next coming 12 months as other companies are. And I was like, that's interesting.
Did they say why?
They said they're worried about the geopolitical climate, obviously tariffs, like who knows what might happen, kind of that must scare companies just being like, we don't know what could happen.
Yeah. Are we going to be able to ship anything anywhere?
Anywhere. Yeah. In it, just that sort of global instability. But he also mentioned that there was a yearning for a variety of great lenses, but now there's such a variety of great lenses available for all mounts. It sort of seems like everyone might be pretty happy with what they've got. I'm paraphrasing, of course. This is what I read from the article. And he said, so until camera brands innovate a bit more on cameras, there might not be another kind of lens. What would you call it? Like
a
lens
generation.
race.
Iteration.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everyone's kind of pretty stoked with what they've got. They're not desperate for, I don't know. Is there anything you're like, just Lucinda, that you're just like, oh man, if I just need something like this? There's a lot of options now.
No, not really. There's nothing. Yeah. And I've kind of, it's that same thing of like, I've kind of got everything that I need. I don't need to put anything, like I've got 8 to 400 covered.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's all performing well.
Anything.
You're not like, oh,
nothing's broken.
This one, or no, not even broken. I mean, like substandard, where you're like, this one lens isn't very good. I wish they'd bring out a better one. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, and as they when they do bring out new lenses, the improvements are marginal at best.
It's like, not like this huge.
This
jump.
one's still good. I'll just stick with it. Yeah, exactly. I think the other big challenge that not just the camera industry, because for a lot of people, photography is a luxury. It's a hobby.
Yeah,
it's not it's not their bread and butter. It's something they pick up and do on the weekends when they go to clubs, all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of financial pressure on everyone at the moment. Petrol everywhere is crazy priced, which means that deliveries everywhere are crazy priced. Cost of groceries is still going through the roof. I just, you got to start me ranting like an old man yelling at clouds. It just baffles me that this has come to be. Yet supermarkets, for example, are just allowed to run rampant with charging whatever they want for product. When this sort of stuff happens, the government needs to step in and regulate stuff. But anyway, I don't want to get political.
We have a government?
We do, apparently. Yeah.
What do they do?
People in charge.
That's a very good question, Justin. What else on the news? Canon shows off interesting RF55 and an 85 1.8 designs. There's another 55 coming out, Justin.
Do you need it?
No. I said this about the I don't think so. Working on a refresh.
That seems like such
51. They just brought out the 45.
Weird focal length.
Yeah. I mean, Zeiss
Not
made
for
that
me.
55mm Otis. Yeah, I just don't. But I also said that 45 wasn't going to come out, and then it did. So I don't listen to me anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's just also like, how many lenses can you have in one camera bag? Like, how many lenses are we taking to a whatever we're shooting? Like,
I think it's a bit of a scattergun approach. They're throwing out 45s, 50s, 55s. Next will be a 60. A 42 and a half. They're just throwing it out there to see what sticks.
45 and 3/4. It's just for me, like I don't use primes, so that I'm the wrong person to talk to. This, but like it's just like why have so many gaps between? Like for me, it's like, as I just said, I have 8 to 400 covered. Like I've got 8 to 15, 16 to 35, 24, 70, 70, 200, 200, 400. Like I've got the entire range covered in those lenses. Like you've got such big weird gaps between, like, or not enough. Like if you've bought the 45, you're not going to buy the 55.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
No,
doesn't make sense.
Unless you've got money to burn. If they're bringing these out, they've got a different. There's something that the wizards over at Canon Rumors are missing, which would be that there's something. Hey, no, I like those guys. I read their website. It would be if it's got some slightly different use case. They're not going to just bring it out and have it be, do you want the 50 or the 55? It'll have a different optical formula for a different look, or it'll be more video focused or something like that, and it'll just be they've. Also, Canon, they're just patents as well, because they Canon patent stuff all the time that never comes to market.
Very true.
So who knows? It's fun to talk about though.
Speaking of patents, Nikon have registered a new camera.
Yes.
That's all we know.
That's it. That's the news.
What often happens in different regions is they have to apply for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity well ahead of the product coming out, and that's where most of these rumor sites pick up that there's something in the works. But yeah, they've found this registration, and it's for a new Nikon camera. No one knows what it is. Anyone want to hazard a guess in the chat, in the studio?
What's everyone think? Well, I know the Z9 Mark II is somewhere on the horizon. Probably not this year, but I mean, it could be.
It feels very soon.
Yeah. I mean, well, when did this, as in too soon?
Yeah. When did the Z9 come out? I thought that was only like 2-3 years ago. Is it really time for generational change?
Late December 2021.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I reckon that's
ago.
the same. Yeah, I reckon that's the same distance between the R5 and the R5 II.
Yeah, you're right. I thought it was closer than that.
Yeah, I would say either late this year, maybe next year if they're having trouble with supply chains and stuff like that. But I think
that'd be the biggest thing.
Yeah. What's that?
Now with like all of the supply chain stuff and
yeah,
all the stuff that we're seeing with
down.
SSDs and all of that, chips and
yeah.
Don't get me started on the SSD thing. But yeah, like I think that's probably going to slow some of that down.
Well, I think I just saw separately to when I was gathering news for today's article, I was just doom scrolling through Instagram earlier, and I'm pretty sure I saw that SanDisk are about to release a 2 terabyte SD
I saw that
card,
too.
but it's like $2,000 or something.
$1 million, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big SD card.
I've got a 0.5 terabyte CF Express.
Yeah, same. 512. That's a 512 CF Express though. That's a good sweet spot for price point and storage capacity and stuff. It's like
it was at the time. It's not anymore.
No,
none of it is.
No,
it's gone up about $200 in the last 6 months. But
well, SSDs have doubled.
Yeah,
even more than that. Like I think I bought mine for 200, and it's now up to 1,000.
Yeah, and I'm looking at actual old spinny disk hard drives again because I just
that's
can't
what
justify.
I've done. That's what I've done.
I'm not shooting professional. I'm shooting for me, and
even pros though. You just as long as you can have a fast working drive. And
that's all I'm using mine for now.
Exactly, and then as long as your spinny disks are backed up properly, because they will fail at some point.
But SSDs also fail too. They're prone to doing that as well. So you like it's
back it up.
All of it needs a backup. But yeah, I've just recently gone through and put everything on that is on an SSD on a spinning drive. And like the spinning drives now, you can get like I've got one sitting here. It's like a 6 terabyte. Like,
I was looking at those the other day.
Yeah, you couldn't get that when I was sort of like using those drives. I think the biggest I could get was like a 2 or a 3. But now you can get a 6 terabyte. And now I can just like move everything from an SSD onto that. Then I can put my SSDs back into my rotation.
That's a portable though as well. Like whereas if you go
I've
to
also
a
got a
desktop
powered one.
Yeah, and my desktop powered one, and it wasn't that expensive. I got an 18 terabyte, just a big slow Western Digital 18 terabyte.
Yeah.
I got one delivered last week, I think it was like $500 or something.
Yeah, it's like that's a great way to do backup, or if you got 2 of those, you could essentially run a backup, like a mirrored backup and your main drive. And and use that as sort of not what you're working on right now.
That's just my archive backup.
Exactly.
So it's just it just sits there and just backs up all the time.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, Rick Nelson makes a good point. Film and negatives will actually be cheaper if the SSD prices keep going up.
They might be.
Right, we're going back to Flickr and we're going back to film.
That's right.
No, we're going back to the big old tape data reels.
Oh yeah,
that's
the
beyond
DAT
my
tapes.
time.
Yeah.
Oh well, have you heard of a microfiche, Lucinda?
What now?
Really? Never?
Really? No.
You're never in your schooling or anything in the library? So it was like secret spy stuff. Imagine they just took.
This is why I don't know about it.
All of the newspapers and like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids it down to the smallest stuff that you can't read, and then you have to put it in a machine called a microfiche that basically just enlarges it to the size that you can see.
Like it's all analog. It projects.
That seems dumb.
It projects light up through the film, and then it comes up on a screen, and the screen like has a hood over it to, like it's crazy. You should Google it.
You guys are weird.
I'm Googling. I can't believe you say it's
weird.
dumb.
I mean, with that and library cards. Like how
I know what a library card is. I had a library card.
The reference cards.
No, I had one. Yeah. No, I was
Oh,
around back then. And an encyclopedia. I've used an encyclopedia in my life.
Yeah.
It's not
Do you remember
bringing
when-
up. Maybe it was called. I spelt it wrong. Bringing up someone just holding this really small fish.
Oh my gosh.
It's not
Oh,
that.
goodness.
Hang on. We've got to dig into this. There'll be people in the chat that are like that can't believe that you because it was old when I was at school, but they still kind of made us use it because it was funny.
Same.
The teachers were like,
Oh
"Here,
my gosh.
try and find a
Try to do
newspaper
this."
article." Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we? So,
What on earth is this?
is this going to work? Can I zoom in? Why can't I zoom in?
But
History
it had
lesson,
like
everybody.
It had like these X and Y axes, so you could scroll left, right, up, and down on the film. But if you
So
a tiny movement would like skip hundreds of pages, so you had to be really careful about how you moved it.
yeah.
See, this is why our attention spans are stuffed like right now because we didn't have to
Yeah.
do this.
That's right.
Yeah, so see the thing down the bottom with all the little squares and stuff. That's what you'd be
That's pages.
moving that around. Yeah, basically, and then so it's just a way to store information in a micro fashion.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Couple of
I'm
There you
comments
go,
here
Craig's
from,
first job.
from the nerds in the chat. Craig Murphy. My first job in spare parts, we used a microfiche for parts cataloging.
Yep. See,
Oh my
And then-
goodness.
all these guys are going to laugh at me when they saw how I first typed it in because look what came up.
You idiot.
That is a microfiche.
That is a microfiche.
That is an accurate representation.
That is. That is.
We have really derailed the news. I'm sorry, Greg.
We have.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get it back
forgot.
on track. Here's an article that might interest Justin or anyone else that wants to shoot infrared. OM, I think it's in Japan only at the moment. I might be wrong about that, but they've announced a new OM1 Mark II infrared camera body. Is in
Interesting.
development. Will be released. We've obviously talked about the whole infrared conversion thing quite a bit because Justin is too chicken shit to pull the trigger and just buy
No,
one.
Greg,
Do it.
no. I was so close multiple times, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be my my what do you call it? Medium of choice while going around Australia, particularly. I really do. I don't know why. Anyway, I'll talk to you about it later when we look at my images. Actually, it's a good time to talk about it. But we've got a full spectrum and infrared conversion specialist coming on the podcast, don't we?
I
Not
did
this
see
week,
that.
next. Yeah.
Not this
Imaging
week,
by
but next
Design.
week. Imaging by Design. So I was like, it would be crazy for me to order anything or get any cameras converted before I can get him on here and just ask him the
I
questions.
just ask him all the questions.
Exactly.
right.
This is just a podcast for Justin.
Well,
that's it.
He does not hide that fact at all, Lucinda.
That's why I do this. I get to talk to people I want to talk to for my own personal gains.
That's great.
So yeah, my plan is to full spectrum convert once I've spoken, unless he's like, oh no, don't do that. You'll
Don't
hate
do
it.
that. I don't think he's going to tell you that.
I don't think so either. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's cool that OM1, it does, a few camera brands have put out infrared and full spectrum versions for forensic use, scientific use, and specialist use, but it's pretty rare and they're often special order through, it's not something you can go and buy at a camera store often, but
B&H in the States have had them on and off. They've had Fuji ones in the past. But they just get a number of them made, or maybe they do it themselves. I don't know. B&H is such a big company, and they've had them on the market in the past. All right, one last piece of news. Let's jump to speaking of infrared, NASA captured the Artemis 2 launch in infrared.
Ooh.
This should be good.
there we go. Ooh, look at that. Crazy.
It is crazy. It's such a bananas way to look at it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, play the
Is this-
video.
I was going to
This
say,
is-
is this a video?
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh. Look at the thrust.
Easy, Tiger.
Yeah.
But isn't that nuts?
So for them, infrared is a way of seeing more than what's visible with the naked eye for them to be able to review, what's happened, I assume.
Yeah.
They want to be able to monitor beyond the visible spectrum of light so they can see if something goes wrong or how everything's working or,
I imagine they recorded it with a whole bunch of trippy systems.
Yeah.
Because the next one, isn't the next one next year? They plan to land on the moon?
Yeah.
Or is that the year after?
Then they're building a moon base.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Feels
Crazy.
like everyone's got
sorry.
Mars, haven't they?
I mean, a moon base, soundstage, moon base, whatever it is. I can't remember what the technical word for it was. Sorry, Bruce. These are. When I saw these, I was like, I'm converting my camera.
Yeah.
You were converted.
I was converted, and we will be converted. The R5, probably the R6 Mark III will be getting converted.
R6 sounds like a better idea.
Seems less painful than doing the R5 Mark II. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, no.
Well, apart from a couple of watchworthy YouTubes, I'll just give a quick shout out. Jeff Freestone has dropped a new video recently on the hardest stage in photography and how to break through it. Definitely worth a look. And of course, Julie Powell, who has just taken a little break, has published a couple of videos from her Ballon workshop retreat, which she came on the show and talked about before it happened a couple of weeks ago. So there's some videos on Julie's, what was I saying? YouTube page. The words just left me. It's
a professional show.
Indeed. All right, let's get to what's in the box.
Okay, what's in the box? Anyone got anything to open? I do.
Things don't last in my house. I practically don't shut the front door and I'm opening Amazon boxes.
Yeah.
I got this last week and I was like, I really want to open it now. But then I thought about the podcast and I thought about everyone that tunes in on a Monday night. And I was like, no, wait. So now I've got to go and find it because I can't remember where I put it.
Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I got a new Godox trigger that I was excited
which one
about.
Did you get?
The big dog one. I've got like all of them now, but I think it's here.
Which trigger did you get?
Ooh, I'm not gonna
you did get the How
big
are you
one.
liking it? Yeah, the
I haven't used it
X3
yet.
Pro. Watch
I
out
haven't used it yet.
if it's wet.
I don't typically photograph in the rain with my strobes.
If it is dusted, it's usually jumping into a pool or
hang on.
dousing it with a hose.
The macro shoot says otherwise,
Yeah.
but
that was when it was changing settings and stuff like that. With wet water on the screen, but
yeah, I'm not going to cover mine in the garden hose, so I should be okay. But the screen's really big, and I think I will like it. I just need another trigger to keep in my Pelican case so that I had things in the right spots.
Yep.
But yeah, what did you get,
Very
Justin?
Cool.
I can't tell you until I open it, but I can't find.
Is it a box within a box?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even open the outer box to get to the inner box. So this might not even be what I think it is.
Well, this could be very interesting.
Yeah.
The suspense is killing all of us.
Are they socks?
I didn't order this. Aha.
What have you got there?
Bruce, you were right.
Yeah, he's onto it. I've been tossing up about doing it. And so it's convenient that you're on this show, Lucinda, because I'm getting this to do more behind the scenes content specifically.
Yes. Yes.
And if Meta glasses could do the horizontal, because everyone knows I hate vertical.
Yeah, well, you could just
probably
like
would have
gaff
gone
tape
for
them to your head if that's what you want to do.
I'll do this. But yeah, I think this being that pendant style, the sort of POV videos, I've made them in the past, but without having to have this big, giant
GoPro strapped to your
GoPro or
chest.
something and look like a goose and feel like a goose and not want to do it. But let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hope it's actually as small as they've managed to do the
Unboxing.
Apple
I
thing.
haven't actually seen one in real life, but it feels they look
Ooh.
like they're small enough.
Whoa. Is that it?
Oh wow.
It's light too.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
It's tiny.
Can I have a comparison? Have you got like your phone somewhere?
Hold it next to your beard. It'll look huge.
Oh, your beard. Yeah. I know what a beard looks like.
Oh, did you say beard or beard?
Oh.
Beard.
I said beard.
So
Oh, I said
all right,
beard.
here's a good. It's
It's
about
like the size of my iPhone.
it's about the
camera.
size of the iPhone sort of camera square.
That's crazy.
Thickness wise, obviously it's a bit thicker than a phone, but not a ton.
Not
Yeah.
by much.
It's quite light. What's it weigh? It weighs. I mean, this is an old AirPods case,
Okay.
and it weighs very similar to an old AirPods case.
Okay, so it's pretty light.
Mm.
Maybe a touch heavier, but oh no, it's not empty. Now where's the pendant thing? That's what I was really interested about. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Bruce
funny.
said
The
that the magnet system is super helpful. I would imagine so.
yeah,
You
oh,
just
that's a
like
good point.
whack it on.
Oops,
There you
look at
go.
this.
There you go.
I wonder, can you use the back of like a DJ? Like I've got the DJI mics. Can you just like magnetize it to your like a mic?
That's a good question. I have no idea, but I'm sure it could. Hang on. Well, it's not quite strong enough to stick to the stubby holder.
Like
I just
I've got
want to
these
stick
DJI mics with the
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I've got them somewhere. I'm sure it would stick to the magnet.
yeah, because then you could just like magnetize it to your chest.
Well, that's what this pendant is for, though. That's what I want. That's what I really want to try. So it comes with this pendant. What does it say? Rotate the grey area. Oh yeah, so you can face it different directions. Take that off. It says don't wear if you have a pacemaker.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
these are important warnings to.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Looks like an emergency call
Yeah,
thing that older people
he's in the
wear.
nursing home.
Yeah.
that's that.
That does the thing.
It just blends in. It's just there. It's very light.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty cool. I hope it works all right. Bruce said it was good. So, I guess there's more to it. This is the like the booster. So this is like the
Yeah,
lunar
that's okay.
module, and then it goes, and then it'll go launch. Nope. How does that work? Like that.
Don't break
and then
it.
that goes around the moon, and then back on, and then back
There you
home.
go.
Great
Cool.
description.
Yeah. You should do their ads.
It's got flippy uppy selfie screen, which is pretty handy. So you can do the selfie thing,
Yeah.
or you could do waist level, shooting, like a Hasselblad.
Just like a Hasselblad.
Just like
Exactly like a Hasselblad.
Yeah, I think I'll use it almost all the time off the docking thing.
Yeah, it feels very much like GoPro size on the dock.
It's almost exactly like that, but not as good.
Yeah.
The quality won't be as good, obviously. It's got a nice little grip on it that GoPro doesn't have on the side. It's
So
got
what
like
are the
a,
specs? What sensor and camera has it? Lens has it got? Sorry.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Only one
I
spec.
watched some reviews on it's quite wide, similar field of view to a GoPro. Super wide. Quality's not quite as good as a GoPro. Obviously, it's because they've had to fit all of the actual camera stuff into this tiny little thing. But yeah, I actually don't know what sensor size it is. I would imagine a little bit bigger than a phone, a little bit smaller than a GoPro.
It'll be a good little camera to just, as you said, do the behind the scenes content-y stuff and put in places that you couldn't put a GoPro.
Yeah, which I don't think, I really think I'll mainly use it for POV, and I'm hoping the audio's, so when I was doing POV, the good videos I did, I was using an Osmo Pocket 3, which is the gimbal thing.
Which is
on a
what
homemade,
I'm filming on now.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So on a homemade neck mount, but it's got this little gimbal thing, and I'm walking around the streets with this weird little gimbal tucked into my jacket, and I had the wireless mic on there as well, and it was just a lot of effort, and I would just not want to do it. Basically, it was a lot of effort to make me do it, and then I went out there and I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't like it that much. I'm wondering if the audio is good enough with this sitting here. It's just such a simple setup. You just no wireless microphone, no nothing. You just go, and I can wander around while I'm overseas and just take photos and do some behind the scenes stuff. And
Very cool.
Yeah. See, so Bruce says on a black shirt you'll forget it's there. People never notice I have it on. And he says you can go swimming with it because it's waterproof. The magnet system's useful, and the audio is okay. You can pair it with a wireless mic if you want to plan it. Yeah. I didn't buy the wireless mic as an extra because I was like, I'm not sure if I'll use it for that purpose where I'm away from the camera and I need the mic near me. But I can I think it was like a $80 thing or something. I'll get one if I decide to use it. It came free with this. Greg was excited about this. Hang on. It's like what's in the boxes. I thought they would all be in the one box, but there's many boxes. It came with this mini.
It makes the experience more exciting, you know?
It does. And this weird little mount. That's a sad part. Is it's got like a whole mount system that it's kind of proprietary. So it works with GoPro stuff, but it's got its own stuff, and it doesn't even work across its whole Insta360's whole system. So it's kind of weird. All right. This is I don't know if I'll ever use this or not. This is is that going to work? This is a ring to be able to start and stop the recording.
Oh, you have to use that. You've got it. You have to use it.
You know.
So has it got a button on it? Is that all that it has?
It's got a button. Hang on. I need to get the decoder power ring into focus. There we go. It's got a button. And you press the button. Yeah. And then it starts recording. So I assume if I have it on you have it on the
taking
inside.
Taking it too far.
If you have it on the inside, come on, Canon, forget about my face. You can press it with your thumb.
Yeah, it's true.
Or you're like walking down the street. I'll let you know how the ring goes, Brucey.
Maybe you can pass it on to Bruce. Maybe he will use it more than you will.
House Tony noticed that before I tried to stick it to the stubby holder, and it has a very light attachment. He's commented there, the stubby holder is stainless steel, you cretin. So it's non-ferrous. Tony doesn't even own a camera.
But he knows about metal surfaces.
He knows about ferrous and non-ferrous metal surfaces and what Yeti stubby holders are made from. Okay. All right, that's my what's in the box. I'm very excited to use it on my upcoming trip. I'll give it a test run before that. So, yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Cool.
Let's get on to everyone's favorite.
Yep.
Your images.
Okay. Let's do it. Do you want to read, Greg? Mm-hmm. Where are we starting tonight? I see.
Let's start with Lucinda's.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. I've got mine too, actually. I forgot about mine.
I need to look at those.
Yeah, sure.
Have you got any, Greg?
Yeah, there's a link there. I've been busy.
You've been busy. That's exciting.
I have.
Yeah, good idea.
I know, it's been good.
Lucinda's, except Lucinda's aren't in the same folder. Will this work? No. One moment. That's not working. Look. Can we start
anytime you're ready, boss?
Can we start with David Leparati's, and while you do
we
that,
can start
I'll
with
try and
not
fix,
me. It's fine.
I'll try and fix Lucinda's while we do that.
All right, but let me start reading then. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get 1 second to get it up on the screen. It's a
So this is
professional
from
show,
David
guys.
Operati. Yeah. All those audio podcast listeners are loving this.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So I really enjoy experimenting with lighting techniques using flash and more recently LED lights. I've been shooting studio still life images, personal work only, for many years after reading many great photo books, Kodak, Amphoto, Amrest Media, HP books on corporate, industrial, editorial, still life photography and more. I have attended many impersonal photography seminars as well as DVD tutorials to learn more techniques. I studied the lighting techniques, types of lighting gear, how they were used, and learned how simple the lighting can be to create a great image. With these, the first image was shot using a Fuji FinePix S9500, which is a 9 megapixel, all-in-one camera while playing with the lighting. The first image is the cherry tomato on the fork, 1/500th of a second, f10, 100 ISO. And then the second image, which is all the behind the scenes work. The lighting used was a Sunpack 622 Pro Flash with diffused bare bulb head in a soft box and a small optical slave flash unit. The Sunpack 622 Pro Flash was a large unit which had interchangeable heads, standard, wide angle zoom, diffused bare bulb infrared, ring flash, and uses an external battery pack. If you're interested, I have attached an image of some of my photo books that I mentioned in the previous email. Also attached is an image of the Sunpack 622 flash that was used in this shoot. I had the zoom, diffused and infrared flash heads and clip-on battery pack and an external battery pack. And unfortunately, I no longer have it as it died many years ago.
I used to use a similar flash for school photos.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The Mets flash that was similar to that was mounted to the side.
Yep, with a handle, kind of side handle
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Gosh. They seem
Beast.
to me...
Absolute beast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because
I've got some.
Do you, really?
Yeah, because every time I would buy like a Mamiya or a like medium format camera, the person would just like throw in a Mets flash, and I'm like, I don't need this.
But I'll take it.
I'll take it. It's fine, but I don't need it.
Yeah, they were before my time as a photographer before I started. And so now whenever I sort of look back and say, they just look so professional. They're like professional from a previous era, like so super professional kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what is it. They look like they'd be hard to use. That's how professional they are.
Yeah, they're a bit fiddly. But it's all it looks like a press photographer or a paparazzi. Like
exactly.
With that
and
sort
look
of
at the size of the external battery pack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to use it for school photos as well. So we would use the battery pack, and it was like, I don't know, like two and a bit iPhones size, like and heavy. And it was on a strap, and you'd put it on your shoulder, and then you're carrying this big, massive camera with this massive Mets flash hanging off it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very
crazy.
Cool. Thanks, David.
All right. Yes, thank you, David. Thanks for sending in the extra photos too. And what a collection of photo books. You see those? Look at these things.
No, I think you skipped through them pretty quick.
I love a good photography book. I love that it was hard copied and PDF'd.
That's what I was going to say, that is separated into the ones, into the different, different categories.
Cool. Yeah.
I do love a photo book, and like so many op shops have great almost daggy photo books, you know what I mean? That are like way past their use by date, but still just like so epic.
Yeah.
And also they have like old photography magazines.
Yes.
You know, that were more like, you know, because they had all the buy, swap, sell stuff in them at the back and, you know, crazy stuff. It was really cool. Yeah, the kids have bought me one.
I love all that
bought
stuff.
Me a couple now and then. Yeah.
Lovely. Lucinda's photos.
Yeah.
My photos.
Indeed.
Yeah, I just thought I threw in some portrait stuff. This is all done in the studio. This is with a friend, Mel, who's got an upcoming release. And it was a bit of a more creative shoot. So I had, you know, the like party streamers. They're all like tinselly. So that was in the foreground, hanging in front, and then I had bare bulb flash just to try and bounce off the light. And then I was using a Prism Lens FX filter, which is called a mood filter. So it sort of softens everything down. And then some kaleidoscope stuff as well. So this is all done in camera. This is not photoshopped or anything. It's straight in camera. So yeah,
very
had a bit
clever.
of fun doing this.
Creative.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long would you spend playing around with this? Like during how long was the shoot or this section of the shoot?
This was a good friend of mine, so we were just like kind of mucking around and like having a bit of a laugh, and then went for lunch. But like 2 hours. But we did like I'd kind of set all this up before she got there, logistics wise, to like hang the curtain and do that sort of stuff. But we also did like a whole different other look on a different color backdrop, and like did like this confetti cannon thing where we had like I had so much glitter everywhere. So yeah, like probably an hour for each shoot. This was probably the more labor intensive one, to be honest, because I had like a fan going to try and move the curtain to sort of hit the light in different ways, so that every single shot that I was shooting off was slightly different. Yeah. So it was a bit of this like trial and error. Like you kind of have to let go of all like expectations of what it is that you're going to photograph, because it's just kind of up to happenstance as to like how the curtain's moving in front of the person, and it's kind of fun experimental stuff.
I love it. Great idea. And I wonder whether that was the plan, where it's like, I'm going to do this, but we've also got a couple of other backgrounds and stuff that we'll do. We'll get a few different looks at, and this will be whatever it is, and it can be a bit different.
Yeah, it's definitely like on theme. It's very like celestial kind of themed. I think the release is called Saturn, so like a lot of kind of like sparkly kind of elements going on. So yeah, that was the vibe for it. So yeah, I already had this idea in my head when she sort of sent that to me, and I knew that like the star filter would work really well, and she had specifically pointed out that she liked this particular filter that I'd used with a different client. So I kind of had like a few starting points for the shoot, but yeah, she kind of left the whole creative up to me, which was kind of fun because I don't get to often do that. And yeah, she just like fully trusted that I knew exactly vision wise what needed to happen.
Very cool.
Very cool indeed.
I'll go through some of your other ones.
Just rip through these. These ones are like so from Port Fairy. So I was on the festival team again with Port Fairy Folk Festival. So lots of like cool venues. Like this is a beautiful church that has all this stained glass. There's another shot, like a wider shot in there as well. And yeah, just lots of really cool venues. I always love shooting this festival. This is the second year that I've been asked to come and document. And yeah, lots of vibe stuff. So for me, it's less artist stuff at this festival. I'm mainly on sort of more crowd participation-y kind of things, but I do tend to sometimes shoot some of the artists as well. There's the other church shot. So yeah, they find beautiful spaces within the township and just sort of put music in there. So this is like an artist on the bill, and these people are busking for a kids charity. I can't remember what it was exactly, but they're all playing. It's like an orchestra of piano accordions. There's like,
oh wow,
there's like eight people that are probably over the age of 70 playing piano accordions on the street. It is incredible. And the girl standing there has actually got a set that she's playing in 5 minutes time down the street, and so she was just like singing along. And so this is just like going on busking all around the township, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so lots of wide shots. More artisty things as well. And then this is like one of my favorite things. They had a polka workshop. So how to polka. And it was in this hall, and all these people are dressed up in all of the beautiful traditional outfits, and then people are just like having the best time. I could not wipe the smile off my face when I got back to the actual festival grounds. I was like, guys, I just photographed the best thing ever, because this beautiful lady has got like she's going a million miles an hour. It was like 30 degrees, and the fabric's flying everywhere and everyone's giggling and having the time of their life. Like it was so much fun. And the town hall is like maybe 3 meters wide, this little hall that they're doing this in. So like everyone's on top of each other and everyone's just like getting in there and having the best time. So yeah, it was fun.
That's very
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. This kid spotted me. I think he thought I was shooting video and he's like arms in the air.
Oh, yes.
And then I did last weekend, the weekend before, I did a Dolly Parton tribute show at Geelong Arts Centre.
Wow.
Yeah. So I shoot in Geelong Arts Centre a fair bit. The dressing rooms are epic. All the Arts Centre has been sort of redone. And so, yeah, I did this Dolly Parton tribute show. There was 2 acts and an intermission in the middle. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's
fun.
so cool.
Lots of glitter and wigs.
Yeah, lots of wigs.
All the things. Yeah. Costume changes, all the stuff. So, yeah, it's nice to photograph in a theatre setting because the lighting's slightly nicer and all that sort of good stuff. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these are amazing.
You've been busy. You've been so busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. What was I going to say? The cannons, they're just so good.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Can't
you can
beat
see
'em.
it in the images, Greg.
Can
Do
you?
you think? No? Just me?
Sorry? Yeah,
No?
just you. No, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, so great. All right, let's do a couple more ones from the sheet, Greg, and then I'll bring yours up.
All right. Let's look at Greg Cracker's Carrick's image. This somewhat abstract image signifies the ongoing journey of the photographer on the never-ending quest of gaining any recognition of value in today's AI-saturated media landscape, or not, whatever. I can't remember where or when I was or what I was using at the time. So really, gear doesn't matter. That's all we got.
I love that.
It's classic Greg Carrick.
And he's just arrived.
Has
Just
he?
arrived in time for your image.
Yeah,
mate.
heard his name.
He did
Yeah.
come romping in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who have we got up next?
Next, we've got Nev Clark. Haven't seen. Oh no, we had one of Nev's last week, didn't we? We had the shark shot. Nev Clark has sent in an image: stillness and tranquility. GFX 100S Mark II and a GF 20-35. This was shot in Denmark, Western Australia. How is the serenity?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Jetties.
I just don't have the capacity to shoot images like this. It's just a whole different.
Neither do I. What do you think it is? What do we?
I don't know.
What don't we have?
Well, I can't shoot a
Patience.
horizon line straight to save my life, so
Me
that's
neither.
the starting point.
Me neither.
I just don't see the world like this, and I'm really upset about it. But I'm so glad that Nev can see and capture it the way that he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely
true.
puts the time in, and I know that is
Patience.
the main
That's
thing.
what it is.
Well, patience, but also like get up, shoot sunrise every day, or not every day, but many days. You know, and eventually you're going to get better at sort of finding these shots and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something I just don't have. Is that next level ability of landscape images?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but landscapes for me, I have always struggled with. Like, I can take a landscape, but I just not to this level.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I can, if you present me with a beautiful landscape, I'll expose a photo of it. That's no problem.
I can point a camera in a direction, but
yeah, it's going to that next level where it, I don't know.
A whole different skill.
Yeah, it's a special thing. All right, let's go. Do you want to do yours, Greg? Now,
Yeah, sure.
What have you been up to, Greg?
Oh, I've been walking lots, Lucinda.
Walking
Lots, yeah. And I've gotten myself into a really good routine of just taking my camera everywhere I go. One of my cameras.
See, that's also something that I need to get better at.
Yeah, Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I'm finding
Yeah.
that I'm just more tuned in to seeing as a photographer and looking
Have
for
you been
composition, looking for
using
light.
the photographer's playbook? How are you going with that?
I have. Where was it? This
Because
one?
that was definitely
No.
one of the projects I set my students, was that you had to go for a walk without your camera, and then you had to go back and do the walk with your camera.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff in here. A lot of it, there's assignments, and then there's also artists' kind of breakdown of how they did a project. But there's also some great ideas. And Sasha got me another book about photography. It's yeah, I haven't had a chance to look through this one. Anyway, I just taking the camera with me wherever I go means that I've always got my photography eye on. I'm always looking for light and composition and, opportunity. And so like this one here
in this.
Yeah, thank you. This one I shot, I was on the way to Bendigo to go catch up with Justin and Jim and Yelena on Friday. And I was there very, very early, and I just used the opportunity to grab some shots because it was early. There weren't many people around. And so there was I'm really enjoying that opportunity to try and capture scenes that should be populated by people, but are not.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's something I found myself doing on some of my trips to Japan years ago, where I'd try to, I would sort of focus on this whole abandoned Japan kind of concept. So I've just always had my camera with me. Most of these were shot with my little X70. These ones in particular at the subway. And it's hard. If I've got the camera in my hand, my eye turns on and I just can't not see light. I'm always seeing that.
It's like a state of mind. It's like you just flick the switch.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh,
I saw this one. Yeah, I saw this one on Facebook, and I think this is a very cool photo.
It's such an interesting perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, I shoot from the hip a lot, especially when I'm using the X70. It's small, it's discreet, it's got a flip-up screen, but also it's got a wider angle. And it just captures that sort of slightly elevated from the hip up view. And you get really interesting kind of angles on people. And this is a laneway in the city in Melbourne. And I can't remember what it's called, but Sasha and I went and met friends just a little bit further up at a cafe yesterday.
Yeah, and I remember that there's good cafes down there. I've tried to get into a cafe once down there, and it's impossible.
Yeah, we had to wait a bit, but gosh, it was worth it. It was such a good feed. But the whole laneways, all these old brick buildings, and then the little narrow footpath on each side is just from one end of the laneway to the other, just pot plants. People have just filled it with pot plants. Locals who live there, businesses. It's just such a gorgeous little oasis smack in the middle of, what can be a bit of a concrete jungle in Melbourne at times. So, it was a good scene.
Yeah.
And great light.
The lighting on her face is perfect, and then leading you back into this sort of dark bottom corner, you start to see all the other little faces start to pop out of the darkness, which you guys might be a little bit hard to see on the stream, but it is there. And
I find it
really
so
like
interesting too that her facial expression, she's obviously pondering something or thinking about something, and she's not on her phone. Which is like constantly what you're seeing when you're walking through the city. I noticed it today when I was like leaving the recital center. Like everyone's like rushing around and they're on their phone and not paying attention to the world. And like it's just such an interesting. Like that's my first thought when I saw this. I was like, what is she thinking about?
Yeah, and I think when I posted this one, I think I titled it "Glide" because she just seemed to be sort of floating.
It's floating. It has that feeling about it.
This serene look and.
Yeah, definitely has this look that everyone else might be hustling and bustling, and she's just floating through. Yeah. She's just floating through life on a cloud, on a happy cloud.
So yeah.
Is that now okay? So we're supposed to be picking one image. We're really gonna do our best to do it each week to show. But this week is a bit of a. I know I've kind of done a similar thing as well, and I was like, well, it'll just be me, so that's okay. And then I saw your folder, and then we've actually got a big folder from David Skinner as well. But we are going to really try and stick to this one image thing. But I'm curious, Greg, if of these images, is there one that would have been if you had to just pick your one image for this week, which one would it have been?
Wow, that's hard.
That's why
I probably would have chosen that one. I probably would have chosen the one. Yeah.
This one. Yeah. I think it's that
because
one.
There's also
I think that's
the
stronger one.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we spent a bit of time in this laneway because while we were waiting for our friends to show up, we went and said, "Oh, can we get a table?" And they said, "Yeah, it's going to be 30 minutes." So we put our name down for a table, and then next to the cafe, there was like this sort of really cool design product store, and they were selling, just cool kind of like stylish products, and they had really nice prints and artwork up on the walls, and they were selling Godzilla jigsaws, and it was just a really cool kind of design concept store, but then also just hanging out in the laneway waiting for our table. So I got time to just observe what was going on, and so that whole element of that sticks with this story for me. It wasn't just about that moment where I looked up, saw this lady walking towards me, lifted the camera and pointed the button, like, and pressed the button. There was a whole experience and an amazing meal and catching up with friends. And then Sasha and I went off and did a bit of shopping, so that whole experience is tied into this image for me, which is great.
Bruce likes the locker image, and that was probably the other strongest one for me of the whole lot, for just different reasons. I like
the repetition.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, interesting that Brucey likes this one, because when he came to Melbourne last and we caught up for a street walk, there was a set of lockers at another part of Southern Cross Station, and I caught a photo there with just one person in the locker room. It wasn't this room, it was a smaller room. But yeah, it was just interesting. I was with Bruce when I took that shot. Not this one, the other one.
I'd love to see it in black and white.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how that would look.
Yeah. For me, the orange makes it.
I think so too.
I like the orange.
Yeah.
But a contrasting black and white.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of contrast. And once you take away the power of that orange color, I think other things would become apparent, like the reflection in the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't really see it as much now because the color dominates, but if you strip that color away, I think it'd be a very different image.
Yeah, I just really love like the repeated shapes and then the light coming from the top. And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Show us next week, Greg.
All right. I'll do it for you, kiddo.
Thanks.
All right. Up next, a big one from David Skinner.
All right. I'll start reading.
Yeah.
Oof. Jeez, David. Talk about a story.
It was a crop. We did have a crop for tonight.
Yeah, it is a crop.
Okay. The images tell a story. Not. Are you going to keep talking while I read, or should I go?
Bumper. Crop. Go now.
The images tell a story, not just about going up in a commercial balloon that takes 20 passengers and having a fabulous time, but about the smaller balloons that hold one or two people competing for a composition to drop a weighted streamer on to a cross. Competing for that doesn't make sense to me. Did I read that wrong? Anyway, let me keep moving. Extremely difficult. The pilots only get to find out their positions just prior to takeoff. The organisers have set takeoff and the markers based on prevailing winds. They get a green flag to say when they are allowed to lift off, and there is a time limit. More points are awarded the closest to the marker and how many markers they achieve. Also, they're dropping ribbons, I think is what he's saying.
Yeah, to drop a weighted streamer onto the cross marked on the ground. Yeah, yes.
Right. So it's a bit competition. I went up twice, last Monday, the first day, and then yesterday, which was Saturday. I went a second time as I set my ISO to what I thought was auto, but actually 0.3. That was ISO 31 on a Nikon. So I had many shots to recover. The second day, much better. First day we're with the Nikkor 24 to 120. Yesterday using the Tamron 70 to 300, a bit more reach. Yesterday, Gold Rush ballooning, were able to put up a second balloon, so I was able to photograph that and compare how big the balloon I went up in compared to the competitor's balloon, about 5 times larger. The experience allowed me to photograph the competitive fleet as well as the landscape from a balloon, something I would never forget, and so glad I've done it. I chose shutter priority to assist in sharp images, auto ISO, day 2. I endeavored to take my time to compose a good composition, thinking of cropping later on for square and panos. No time to check the screen. So if I was not happy with the first attempt, I took 2 or 3 more or less, the same composition. The balloon is continually moving across the ground as well as spinning. So there's a buffeting as the pilot pulls on various ropes to steer where he wants to go. The choice of a higher shutter speed paid off. That worked reasonably well, all things considered. I took 1,200 odd raw shots and kept 178. Enjoy these images. The last email will be from yesterday. I think that's all we need to read.
Yeah, I think so. There's a ton of great shots in here. I'm sort of just moving through them, but we can come back to a few. But there's just different angles and perspectives of everything. I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah,
I want to go up in one of these things. Well, it looks more fun when there's tons of them. Actually, it makes the like being able to see things like this would be so cool.
I love this one.
Yeah,
The light's really cool.
Yeah, that morning light. Beautiful landscape. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Wow.
Just balloons everywhere. Brings out the childishness, doesn't it?
It does.
There's X marks the spot. They're so big and colourful. Gold Rush ballooning. What an experience, David.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a kangaroo.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's the full set.
Yeah. Incredible.
So, yeah, just amazing shots. What an experience. What a photographic experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, great little photo story.
Yeah. Someone could almost, I don't know, it probably can't because I don't know how any of this stuff works. But imagine if someone ran a workshop where you either you have a whole balloon for, say, 6 photographers to run a workshop in that one balloon. And that's the workshop, is just going on one of these big balloon
I'm sure that
fests.
exists.
Surely. And if it doesn't, someone should be doing it. Because that'd be great. What an experience that'd be.
Yeah.
Justin will be your first customer, whoever gets that off the ground first.
Absolutely. Gets it off the ground. I see what you did there. Thank you for sending all those through, David. Great use of our one image policy can be broken if you've got a
photo story,
interesting, a set, a story, something that a cohesive set that you would like to send in. If you're listening back later and you have never sent an image in, just email your image to me, justin@luckystraps.com.au, and you can be on next week's show. No particular type of image, and whatever tickles your fancy, unless we're running a theme. But we haven't got a theme yet. We will have one coming up soon.
But don't forget to also include, your base camera settings and maybe a little explanation, the story behind it. Just a paragraph or a couple of sentences, just saying this is where I was and this is what I was doing.
Oh, and please, this is new. This is actually something I was thinking of today. If you could please rename the file to have your name in it, that would be just so delightful for me. That would reduce my workload on a Monday afternoon by quite a bit. If you can just title it your name and then whatever the image is or the number or whatever you want, that would just be a life-changing upgrade. Please. Thank you.
There you go.
Public service announcement over.
Yeah. I always forget. Lisa Leach up next.
Yeah. Lisa says she's an apology for the podcast this evening, as I'm currently gallivanting around New Zealand's South Island on a workshop with Brett Wood, Lisa Milne. Courtesy of Greg Cromie, I've been exploring some street photography in recent weeks for some diversity. This image was taken in a Melbourne laneway. I was drawn to the lone lady in her own world, disconnected from the hustle and bustle of the lane. I'll have to watch the catch-up for episode to see your feedback. The 2+ hour time difference and sunrise shoot looming in the morning would make joining you live a tad problematic. I don't think that's a very good excuse.
That's right.
Lisa, I hope you're in bed. I hope you're asleep.
Yeah.
And I hope you're watching this as a replay and not right now.
They won't be. They'll all be sitting up talking about camera gear and lenses and stuff. And
They'll be having their own podcast.
They probably will be. They should just live stream the whole thing.
Yep.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
A beautiful shot.
I love the movement.
Yep. Very well done.
Yeah.
And the black and white
reflections.
Yeah, and the black and white just, it's just beautiful the way that the people are blurring into one another.
Yeah, it like calms the chaos.
If it was color, there'd be a lot going on.
Yeah.
It might take a while to find your way to the main characters of the shot.
Yeah.
Felicity says she sent 3. I don't even know if I've seen yours, Felicity. Let me have a look now. Let me have a look now.
Do you want me to read the next one?
Yeah, let's do the next one.
Let's do David Mascaro. So this is an image I took from the front seat of an 18-wheeler. I took a road trip with my old high school buddy who did 20 years in the army and over 30 years as a truck driver. I've done 3 road trips with him across the country, and what a great way to see the country. He has gotten me to where bridges of Madison County was filled, so I could document that. And on a different trip, he had gotten me Little Bighorn, where Custard made his last stand. Third trip was all the way across the country, and I interviewed other truck drivers and took their portraits at truck stops. Some great stories. One in particular was a Navy veteran whose nickname was Preacher. About 4 or 5 months later, his wife and son messaged me and thanked me for the photo of him because he had just passed of COVID. This is probably the best reward of doing this type of photography because of things like this. And we'll see you all Wednesday, aka our Thursday. The image was shot with a D850 and a 200. It says AIS lens.
Yeah, that's an old. It's an older Nikon. Older Nikon lenses were AIS lenses. I'm not sure what that stands for, but it was just a designation. I can't remember what it meant, but yeah, very cool.
Very cool photo. It almost feels like an optical illusion, the way that the road bends in the bottom third of the frame. It really draws you in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Those leading lines are just...
Yeah.
Does almost look, it looks a little bit weird, doesn't it? Like a little bit, I don't know. Like
it's almost like that movie Inception with the buildings start rising up.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Great perspective.
Felicity said she sent them a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, we've already shown them, Felicity. That's all good.
Yeah.
Yep. Send in one for next week.
Yep.
Yes.
Great shot, David.
Yeah. Driving across that country is so cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the portraits too.
Mm.
Well, he did. I don't know if we should show. He actually sent in a separate email and said not for the show.
Okay.
But he sent the portrait of. Maybe we can show it on next week.
Yeah, I would love. I would love to see the collection if you are happy to share it, because that sounds like such a great like photo book or like collection of images, especially with all the stories.
For sure.
Traveling Wanderer.
Very cool.
There we go.
Up next, John
Hall.
So John, here's another shot from one of our recent walks around Sydney. This one was taken at the Carriage Works in Redfern. This is with the Nikon Z6 Mark III. a 40mm f2 at f8, 1/1250th of a second, ISO 100.
Now that's a cool frame with that person in it. It takes it from just a photo that you'd be like, oh yeah, the cool lines and archways and stuff like that, and then you add the person in it, and it changes the whole thing to.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
takes to the next level.
And the way that the shadowed area just creates this perfect line. It's almost like it's been cut, from the greater picture.
yeah, it's like two images.
Now, what would this look like in black and white? Better? Different?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got so much texture in the bricks that maybe it wouldn't work, but then, yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
I'd love to see it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really interesting with it. Yeah, with the texture and the archways and stuff. I wonder what it would look like. Great work, John. Carmine Taverna Photography. Greetings from New York. Best 7 a.m. live stream. Lol. Hey, well, thanks for joining us. Hope New York is nice. First. What's it like starting to get warm up there now? Maybe heading towards summer, spring. As Dennis says, yes, the person is so perfect. Yeah, it's just right there. Yeah, okay. He says, John says, tried it, didn't work. Color in the bricks makes it. I love that you tried it.
Yeah. I just don't, I don't know if there's enough, enough whites in it to warrant it going black and white. It'd be very muddy, I reckon.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Wonderful image, John. Thank you.
Yeah, very cool.
Yes.
And speaking of the devil, Dennis Smith is up next.
There's Dennis.
What's Dennis been up to?
Oh, who knows? I posted this image to Instagram in response to a comment regarding my creation of work in precarious spots. This image was made in the dark, under a bright moon, but still dark. Lots of practice and planning in daylight, but no getting around the fact that a fall here would be a certain wheelchair and probably death. As always, one exposure. I was alone, but someone knew where I was. No one wants to be finding a week-old stinky body. Fresh is best. February 2014, a 5D Mark III. 70 to 200 at 70 mil.
This is from the archives then?
It is from the archives. ISO 100.
Old school.
It is f2.8 for 179 seconds.
Nuts.
Dennis, stop climbing on precarious places, please.
Yeah.
Well, it's an epic shot.
It is an epic shot. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't believe it's
that you scare me.
Like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's under a bright
Yeah, how is
moon.
this nighttime?
It looks like daylight.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy.
Wild.
Wild, as Dennis would say. Old school.
Yeah.
Old school, yeah.
Amazing shot, Den.
Epic. More from the archives.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And in 2014, people would have just been like,
yeah, exactly. Now everyone's like, that's AI.
That's AI, yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, I love it.
Keep them coming.
And lucky last, before we look at Justin's, Phil Thompson.
Yeah.
I titled it Promenade in the Mist. And it is a photo of the little jetty in front of the carousel on the Geelong waterfront on a very foggy morning a few years ago. Shot with my Pentax K3 with a Pentax 18 to 135, 2-second shutter speed, f16, and ISO 200. Shot while lying down on my stomach and handheld.
That's a great photo.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
very
so
cool.
Weird that the light pole is dead center.
Yeah.
It's such a weird jetty.
Yeah.
Like I drive past it almost every day.
Do you?
It's such a weird it's down the waterfront.
It wouldn't the light post is almost always on one side.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but this jetty for
usually.
whatever reason is, and it's not very long either. like it's probably only 10 meters long. Like it's a very bizarre jetty in this a very weird spot.
It's such a unique composition, giving it this kind of like pyramid shape through the photo with that point source light in the middle. It's so interesting.
And also the contrast between the hard lines of the jetty and the softness of the fog.
Yeah.
You know, it's really cutting into it, but the light of the fog is just beautiful. I'd love to see that printed.
Yeah. Yeah, that would look great, printed big. Yeah, what an epic location.
Mm.
Yeah, it almost looks like what someone what do you call them? Like a graphic artist would come up with for like some sort of surreal jetty art. You know, like if they were coming up with something that was a bit different and they created this rather than took a photograph of it.
That's a beautiful shot though.
Nev Clark says it reminds him of a video game, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was the other one. Maybe that was Den's. Maybe he's a bit behind because I was like, I don't know if this would be. I don't know. I don't know what that video game's about.
He does have it on canvas here at home. Oh, wonderful.
There you go.
Nice.
That just makes it,
So cool.
doesn't it? Finishes the story, Phil.
Yeah.
That's great.
Crazy.
What an epic shot.
Okay, so I have more than one image. I thought I was going to be the only one.
Justin, you broke the rules.
But we're gonna play a little game. So I was actually down in Melbourne last night. Elena had an appointment this morning, so we went down, and it was easier to just stay nearby. And I went for a walk with the camera, but with no pressure, and just photographed things that were I was interested in. Things that made me curious, perspectives and things. No,
nice.
I actually didn't take many shots at all. I was like, if I don't take any photos, if I'm not, because I really struggle to get inspired in Melbourne to take photos.
Interesting.
We're in Docklands. And so these are 5 photos that I took that I was interested in. And I want to see if you guys see anything in them. And if so, which ones are like a photo and which ones are you like, I don't see much in that. Be ruthless. That's you too, chat. You guys can light me up. Is there anything here, or are these not really shots? And if anything, is there one that stands out as an actual photo amongst the others? All right. Hang on. Here we go. Get that up there. And like that. So that's a man fishing.
Mm.
It's cloudy.
Oh, I like that.
That's the strange cow tree.
Mm.
Someone needs to explain to me why there's a cow in a tree.
As I said, I just took photos of things that interested me because I've never seen that before. And I was like,
oh, really?
Huh. Yeah, I was like, that's
an interesting.
That was one of the first sculptures they put up when Docklands was being formed.
Yeah.
I might have seen it in my peripheral. I had never realized there's a cow in a tree. Like I've been past that area before, but I never looked at that.
Haven't noticed.
Had not noticed it at all. I don't know how long it's been there for, but yeah.
Oh, and for those of you that are only listening to audio, it's an abstract sculpture of a cow in a tree. It's not
a real cow.
But the cow's about like 15 sizes bigger than an actual cow.
Yep. It's a big tree too, but it's a fake tree. As you get closer, you realize. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ooh.
I like the light.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the last one. Classic nighttime Docklands, Melbourne.
I do like that. I love that you've leaned into a heavier, more contrasty editing style than you usually do.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I love a
heavy.
contrasty,
Yeah, same. I'm pretty
contrasty black
heavy
and
on
white.
on the contrasty black and whites, but this is probably this is a fairly aggressive one. This particular one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works though.
I do
All the
too.
lights on in the buildings, the bolty lit up, the tops of the pylons.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you why I took each photo, or do you just want to hit me with your thoughts?
Tell us why.
Yeah, tell us why.
Well, obviously these pylons are in a million people's beautiful shots. And they do give some sort of element of interest to my brain, but it was actually that it was those buildings that seemed to be coming from a lit up sky and almost like they were a ship arriving. That's what it felt like. So the buildings were really the subject of that, despite the fact that your eyes are mainly initially drawn to the pylons because of those white caps. I don't know what that shot would look like without the white cappy things. Probably better. Don't know. This one, I'm a sucker for what I call flat lays on street photography. Like if I'm flat on perspective, and I wasn't quite flat on here because I couldn't get to the right shot, but there's a guy. There's a guy
On a bike?
On a bike here.
Oh, wow.
So I got that as fast as I could. I wanted him obviously framed in the thingy as he was riding past because I saw him coming along here where it's darker. And I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. And I was trying to go to my right to get more flat on. Ideally, I would have been 50 meters to my right to be more square on with the building. But it was that and the dramatic sky and obviously all the geometric shapes and reflections and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this one, there was just a lot going on with the swan, the smiley face, and there's sort of birds in a few different spots.
It's also bird motifs going on.
Yeah, bird.
Two in the sky.
Yeah, two in the sky. And it just kind of, I don't know, there was just something about it. It piqued my interest. And then what was the cow. I mean, that was just, the cow and the lines of those cranes are what made that interesting to me.
Those cranes are satisfying, aren't they?
They're satisfying, exactly.
All lined
They're
up.
Just lined up and reaching up towards the cow. I crouched down a little bit to make sure they were not crossing through the tree at all. They were framed. And then the little dollop of gap in the clouds, which you guys can't really see, but there's a
little opening.
It was a little opening up the top there that I liked.
Oh yeah.
Whoops. And then obviously this guy was just fun.
Yeah.
Just having a fish by himself and just in this nice little opening, but with the light flowing through on the water, but all the water was really dark everywhere else. So Anyway, really cool. That's that. Oh yeah, and sorry, Nev says Q3. They were all shot with the Q3. Yes. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Does that make sense? None of these photos are anything.
But that's okay.
Yeah, but most street photography isn't anything. It's all about your perception and the perspective that you bring or that you capture when you take an image. If this is what you saw the opening, you saw the darker reflection in the lighter part of the water in front of him. You know, that is, you did know what you were doing. You built a composition.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. Everyone always seems like there's more to it than that. And I don't know.
I feel like you will probably subconsciously create a little series out of this. Probably the next time that you go out and you shoot, you're going to look for a person in like that shot with the person with the bike. Like if you are noticing these things, then you're probably going to notice them more and more the more you go out and shoot this. So it will probably evolve into a series without you thinking about it.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
It does.
So there's probably because these things are things that pique your interest walking around. If you saw them in different contexts, I would imagine that you would probably have the same reaction to it, and therefore you would be photographing similar scenes that would then form a bigger story.
I agree. In terms of, it's kind of like, I don't know what the story is, but
you don't have to know straight away.
Yeah, if that's what interests me, eventually that pattern will emerge. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the beginnings of something interesting.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks. Appreciate it. It was fun. It was fun getting out shooting with the Q3. David Skinner says, did you have any more reach? Yeah, you could crop in on the Q3, but I'm a big one for kind of mostly just shooting what it does, what it does for me. That's what I've got, and that's what I shoot with at the time. And then, otherwise I'd just take a different setup if I wanted to be able to zoom in a little bit. But yeah, anyway, that was my little adventure.
Yeah.
I think not trying to do street photography in Melbourne is easier than trying to do like street photography with people in it. It just doesn't seem to work for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. Cool.
Nice work. Good job, everyone.
Yeah.
Some great images that have come through once again. So just for future weeks, we are considering some themes in the coming weeks, and we'll be sure to let you know what they may be. But if you want to send in an image, you just need to email it to justin@luckystraps.com.au. Please include a little couple of sentences describing the experience and where you were and what you were shooting, and also some camera settings. We're happy for everyone to send in one image, even though we don't follow that rule ourselves.
We'll try to.
And if you've got a behind-the-scenes shot, then throw that in. And of course, the other exception is that if you've got a photo essay or a small photo series where the images all work towards a greater story, then obviously you can send those through. But yeah, thanks everyone for sending in your images. Amazing, love it. It's the highlight of my week.
It is fun. It's great.
Yeah,
and inspired.
Indeed.
And thanks, Lucinda, for giving us a couple of hours after a massive day. You must be just ready to fall asleep.
I'm ready to crash. I'm ready to crash. So thank you for having me. It's good to jump on again.
Yeah, it's great
awesome
to see you. Yeah.
And all that work is, it's so cool. Yeah. You must just be like, what have I done since I was on last? There'd be a million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well done.
Awesome.
And thanks again for stepping up and joining us tonight to co-host.
No worries.
You want to say goodbye to some people, Justin, and we'll roll some credits or some music or something?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's play some reggae music. David Skinner says just one next week. Promise. Yeah, just one next week. We'll do it. And use your name as the file name, everybody. Please, please, please. Philip Johnson says, thanks, Justin, Greg, and Lucinda. Until Thursday. Yeah, who have we got on Thursday again?
We've got Anne Scott Virtue.
Anne Scott Virtue, yes.
Yeah, wedding photographer, BFOP instructor.
Yep. Had one of the best workshops at BFOP.
Yeah.
And will probably be hassling me for a dual camera strap or an octa camera strap as well.
At least getting longer.
At least getting longer. Any theme for next week or open? No, Greg, we'll keep it open again next week. We might aim for a theme for the last Monday of the month maybe, but we'll see. All right. Thanks, Phil Thompson's, Felicity Johnson. Who else? Nev Clark. Who else was here? John Hall was here.
Yeah.
Paul Henderson was here. Everybody was here.
Yeah.
Greg Carrick. Always. Bruce was here, but he had to go. He said, I had to head, everyone. Have a great night, and thanks for another fun podcast. Tweak Productions, good to see you. Hope the editing's going well. See you in the next one.